young companies that's built by younger people right now that are like maybe 1, 2 years old. It's more, I would say, energetic and more, I don't know, charismatic because it's young and built by young people. We're in 2024 right now, so there are more team building events, been implemented, and more companies are doing it because they know to retain people and to retain young talent, they have to build something like this. And it's someone who can communicate well, someone who is willing to learn, because that's probably one of the biggest quality companies are looking for right now. Hi, my name is Sophia. Thanks for having me here. So what I do, I basically help middle class families to sell their clothes that they don't use or don't need anymore. And then I use NFC technology that's put inside each piece, and they can scan it with their phone, and I can resell these clothes for them. I'm also part of the Rosmol business community, which is a community of young entrepreneurs in Russia, and we help each other grow our businesses.
So, Sophia, so as you are part of this huge community, so how do you guys manage the talent and how do you manage the career progression?
Oh, regarding the career progression, actually, I'll say in bigger companies, there are specific lists and sets regarding how the young people will progress. So how it works. You go to the interview, and for example, like biggest technology companies, you'll sit with the manager, then line manager, and all of those people, and they tell you now you're going to have this position, but later we'll see and check like how you progress, and maybe like in 1 year you might be here, in 2 years you might be here, and moving forward like this. So they will give you a structure on how it works, and basically you will see whether it works for you, or maybe you want to choose another team and progress
So,
there.
how does the diversity looks like in your organizations in Russia? In multiple corporations, how's the diversity looks like? By diversity, I mean diversity of thoughts, diversity of gender. Like, how does it looks like?
Oh, actually, that's so much better now. Like through the years, it's been progressing and progressing. So again, in bigger companies, it's probably much better because they have like larger teams, larger job applications and stuff. In smaller companies, it might be not as good. And it's not because like they don't want teams and companies to be diverse, but it's just that they don't have enough resources yet to make the diverse team, like, for example, equal number of female or male. They will do it in some time, but for now,
What is the culture looks like in an organization in Russia?
that's a good question. To be honest, I feel like it depends from company to company because, for example, young companies that's built by younger people right now that are like maybe 1, 2 years old, it's more, I would say, energetic and more, I don't know, charismatic because it's young and built by young people. In the larger corporations, it's different because in different teams might be younger people, might be older, so it all depends on who it was built by and who are the main leaders there. So it really depends. But now, which is great, like we're in 2024 right now, so there are more team building events, been implemented, and more companies are doing it because they know to retain people and to retain young talent, they have to build something like this, and they have
And
to.
also tell me, what are the policies that you guys are implementing in different organizations to retain your teams, people, retain your people, and also to motivate them?
Okay, so I probably might not be the best person to say because like my company is quite young, like it's very young. But what I can say is like team building is a big part here, and I know I have different friends in different big corporations, and they have a lot of team building. So they go together to different events, they have strategic sessions together. So they try to keep moving the community they've built inside their team and also communicate with other teams, because that's also important. Because, for example, if the corporation is quite large and you want to move to another team, you have to build connections there, and they have all the events necessary to do it there.
And tell me, do you guys have international students and international talent as well working in Russia?
Actually, yes, and that's something I'm really proud of because we have several universities with international students. So they finish their bachelor's degree or master's degree, and they move forward to work in Russian companies. So I'll just give one example. There is a great Italian girl. She lived here for I think more than 5 years, and she recently was in a very big event where she presented to our Russian President Vladimir Putin an idea to help foreigners to get their ID and the Russian passport much easier, so the foreigners can come much more time and easier to our country and work, build their families, start their business here. So yes, we have more and more people coming every year.
So, that you talk about all those people who are students and already living in Russia. What if someone wants to apply for a position or a job in Russia in an organization? Like, for example, from Pakistan, people do apply for companies, positions in Europe and in all over the world, right? In Gulf.
Yep.
So, what if someone? What's the platform where we can see that this is a position opening or job opening where I can apply? Is there a
Okay.
portal?
That's I don't think there is a portal yet for all of the companies, but there is definitely, if you want, for example, if you know the company you want to work for, or at least you know the sphere you want to work in, you just go to Google or Yandex, you type their like biggest IT companies, and you search by it. For example, our largest IT company is Sber. You go to Sber website, they have all the jobs published on English and anything, and they're an international, like big company, so they have quite many international jobs, so you can easily find it there. But for example, if you want somewhere else, it's the process is very similar. If not, you can just type your Russian friends and we'll help you.
Definitely. And what if someone applies from Pakistan to your organization or any other organ? So, what are the qualities that you guys would be looking into him or her?
Ooh, that's a great question. So again, I might not be the best person to answer this question, but it's actually depends on the team, on the company, on the sphere. But generally, I would say someone who can communicate well, someone who is willing to learn, because that's probably one of the biggest quality companies are looking for right now. Someone who is driven, someone who can adapt quickly to new environments, new some, because we're very we do it very fast, like we work very fast, and if someone tells you you need to find this or you need to find that, you have to adapt quickly. So from doing this, you have to, I don't know, go to another team and start doing this what you've asked for. So something to be driven and dynamic and love what you do.
And one more thing, as you said that the candidate should be at communication, but what I have seen is there are very I think 0.3% people who know English, right? So how are you like looking for the communication when there is a huge language barrier?
So that's another great question. Now we have a lot of schools that have English language, that have second language, and even third language. So now it's much better. It's like the older generation who didn't speak much of Russian because they have other things to think about. But it's doing much better. And also we have different courses right now that help you to learn English, and I don't know, different communities that you can freely speak with on English language. And for example, if you come to Russia and someone doesn't speak Russian, but most of the people are so great and so helpful, they will try to show you with gestures. And then if that doesn't work, they will ask someone like in the crowd to come and help you with your English. So that's not a big problem. That's doing much better right now.
I would like to add that Russian people are really kind, like,
Thank
really
you.
kind, really accommodating, and they really help the other person to, do their things. And also tell me that there are multiple sanctions, right?
Yep.
You have developed your own Facebook and your own other apps, right? So what do you think about it, coming from the community of entrepreneurs, that you cannot sell your technology to other countries, like or you have to develop your own technology? You cannot just buy it from other countries. So this is a lot of constraints here. So how do you guys manage that?
Okay, that's actually a really great question, because now there is so many more entrepreneurs are doing something in IT's field or not even IT's fields. And what we're doing, we just build something ourselves and then we communicate with other countries. For example, I don't know, Pakistan or any other country, to maybe find a partner there, maybe to find a community there actually of young entrepreneurs too, who can help manage and, I don't know, find a specific person who you need to find to, I don't know, went to this market. We're also, for example, I'm also an CEO in ABV, which is a big startup, IT startup. We do the workspace builder for IT users. And we did last year a SBIR international acceleration program, and we went to the top 25 startups, and they have a lot of connections with other countries, and they help you to enter other markets.
And the companies and the startups that you guys are working on are mostly tech related, and they're providing convenience to your end consumers, right? And for that, you usually use social media for digital marketing and for awareness to your customers that this is a service that is available. But unfortunately, in Russia, social media are banned, right? So how you guys are marketing and how you guys are, which path you guys are taking to reach to your end consumer?
That's the question I really like to answer, because we also have our own social media. So, for example, yes, Facebook is blocked, Instagram is blocked for us, LinkedIn is blocked for us, but we have our own social media. For example, Tanchat is now it's something similar to LinkedIn, but better in a way that it has more opportunities to, like, you can find network there, you can find contracts there, you can find a lot of things there. And it helps like young, and not only young entrepreneurs, but entrepreneurs find each other. It's specifically for entrepreneurs. Then we have, it's called VK in Russian, VK, and it's a social network like Facebook and Instagram together, put together, and we can advertise everything there. So majority of Russian people see it either in Veka or Tenchat or both, because they can find different audiences in both social media. So it's great. It's now much better.
But you also mentioned that about the entrepreneurship that you guys are promoting, and I discussed this with you that in our country there are a lot of people who wants to start their own business, but we don't have the right approach, and we are very scared also about the fundings, and also that I cannot leave my stable job and start something. And then you were telling me about that there is a community which we can join, and we can learn how to run a startup and other stuff. So can you share details about that?
Sure. That will be great, and I'm actually really happy to help you and other entrepreneurs who want to join. Yesterday, as a part of our small business community, we and guys presented the creation of the international community for young entrepreneurs. And what we do there, and what people will do there, is we'll share best Russian practices from entrepreneurs to other countries so they can implement it, not be scared, as you said. We can help with like calls and some documents and stuff to show and say like how we work, how you can create your communities in your countries, and then we can share the best practices all together. So that's a great opportunity for all of us to see how we work in different countries and implement maybe what we might know and you don't know, and the same vice versa.
And you can also, if for people from Pakistan present you their idea or something, you can also give them guidance and funding as well.
Regarding funding, there might be, but it depends on the company or individual investor or corporate that will invest. So there are definitely ways to find funding. But in terms of entering the community, it's free and all of the information is free. So yeah, you just come share your ideas and we will help you as much as we can. So we'll definitely find a ways for someone who can help you if we can.
That's really really good. And I think you would, as we discussed, we would love to have Pakistani talent help and work in Russia. Come here or work remotely in the IT sector as well, and on other sectors as well. So, Sufia, thank you so much for this meetup and for sharing your knowledge with our audience. I think people would be really, really happy to hear about you, the things that you guys have done so far for your country, entrepreneurship wise and also technology wise. So it's a huge learning for us to know about Russia, how you guys are operating, and then what kind of talent you are looking for, because I believe we are living in a global world. We all are global citizens, so we should help each other and learn from each other across the world. So thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you
Thank you
so
so
much. Just might want to add just one last thing, which is I might add a link or I give you a link so you can add, so you can enter our community. And we are always looking for new talent from different countries to make our country become more diverse and
Yeah.
take more talent from other regions. So it will be great to see, you know, our community and build even greater community of
Yeah.
entrepreneurs. So thank you. I'm
you.
really happy to be here.